Welcome to the Y Connect podcast. As the heartbeat of the community, the Y is a connector where people of all ages and walks of life come together to elevate their health, wellness, education, and essential life skills. Hear the stories of impact and join the authentic conversations where together we'll discover the journeys and pathways people take to connect through the Y. Now your hosts, Zarina, Robert, and Allison.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today?
Hey, all is well.
Good, Robert.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. We have a full show. It's been a full week. We had one on Monday.
Yes,
we have
right.
a full show today. Very excited about today's show.
That's right.
Simply because of my past history as being a wellness director and actually seeing the work being done with the Parkinson's disease population. But we have two extraordinary guests today. Ms. Cindy Kennedy, who's a Parkinson's Movement Y instructor, and Mr. Greg Eggert, who's a Parkinson's gladiator and Y member. Just to give a brief history, Ms. Cindy Kennedy has taught group fitness classes at the Metro YMCA for 10 years and has been instructing Parkinson's classes since 2016. In addition to other certifications, Cindy holds certifications in community exercise for people with Parkinson's disease, Larry Delgado Boxing Foundation for Parkinson's, Parkinson's cycling, and active older adults. Cindy has several virtual classes for members with Parkinson's available on YMCA360.org. She enjoys helping members grow from stronger and more confident in their movements and know that daily exercise is vital to overall health and maintaining a positive outlook. Incredible. Greg Eggert is a 75-year-old former Army helicopter pilot who was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2013. Since 2013, he has been a Parkinson's gladiator at the Northwest Cobb Family YMCA. Every physician he has consulted has encouraged him to exercise and exercise more. Greg believes that this is the only way to keep him strong and to slow the progression of Parkinson's. I want to welcome both of you to Y Connect.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Very welcome.
Yes.
It's good to be here.
Yes.
Thank you,
you
guys.
both for joining us today. Thank you. Now, my
Sure.
question is for Greg. Greg, for our listeners who don't have a complete understanding of the disease, could you describe it for us or tell us about the disease?
Sure. Parkinson's disease or disorder is actually brain and spinal cord interaction, the CNS, and that controls your motor skills. And you'll probably hear that in my voice as we continue on. There's always a little tremor in my right hand. But Parkinson's is a lack of the chemical dopamine. The central nervous system has become damaged, and dopamine does not get into the system to take away the tremors. Dopamine is ongoing in your system, but it just doesn't function as it normally does. It drops due to the damage of the central nervous system, and then the tremors. And I've had several levels of tremors, light to relatively not disabled, but you have to take everything pretty slow. And I'm surprised at what my handwriting can do. It just never does what I want it to. There's various treatments going on. I'm a member with the Michael J. Fox Foundation. But unfortunately, at this point, there's no cure. More palliative examples, and the levodopa carbidopa pill has been a godsend to me.
Okay.
But again, it's not curative, it's just palliative, and you notice the tremors more often as the central nervous system, which controls the brain and spinal cord, kind of is damaged, and the level of dopamine decreases to a level that you're noticing the signs and the symptoms of Parkinson's.
Okay.
Thank you for describing that,
Thank
Greg.
you.
And,
Sure.
prior to us pressing record, you said, well, I don't know if I can get into much of the medical definition. You did great. I learned a lot in what you described. You describe yourself in your bio as a Parkinson's gladiator. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Well, if you remember gladiators years and years and decades ago, they're strong, they're fighters, and the Parkinson gladiators here I found to be a group of individuals just like the gladiators. We're fighting the symptoms of the disorder, and through vigorous exercise. That's the main attempt at normalcy, if you will. So I've been a gladiator fighting those symptoms since 2013, I guess.
Wow.
I understand you guys were in a class together today. Is that right?
Yes. Parkinson's cycling.
Oh.
Yeah, we sure were.
That's
Cindy.
fantastic.
Cindy's been
You should say it with more
absolutely fabulous.
enthusiasm.
Boy, Cindy's been great, and the cycling
There we
is
go.
terrific. And Cindy's been instrumental, and she may not say so, but her direction and motivational skills have been just critical for me, because I've had a lot of other different things going on. But the exercise, and even more, it's essential. The days I don't go to the Y, I go out and walk. They have beautiful parks, so I take advantage of them. But I think I'm part of a large group that's fighting and will eventually come with a good cure for Parkinson's.
Yes.
I agree. I love the title Gladiator. I love that. And that's a perfect segue into my question for you, Cindy. When we decided to do this episode on how the Y supports people living with Parkinson's, your name immediately came up as someone that we need to speak with. Tell us about why you got involved in teaching Parkinson's exercises.
Sure. They first came to me and said we were going to be offering Parkinson's training and wanted to know if I'd be interested in learning about it and instructing members. And of course, I'm always interested in learning something new and, being able to help members in another way. But I did not realize how important exercise was to this community. When it comes to other communities, they want to exercise for lots of reasons, maybe for stress relief or to get into a dress for the weekend or something. But the more training I got and the more things I read, the more I understood how vital exercise was. It's not just a choice. I mean, it's something that really helps with their balance, their mobility, health, outlook, positivity. I mean, there's so many factors that Parkinson's members need on a daily basis. They need encouragement. They need community. They just need these classes. And I realized that I could be an important part in their life. And I might be able to bring something that would help them to get stronger, to be more confident. Their stability with their movement was so important. And I see these classes helping. I mean, I talk to Greg and other members, and I hear that it's part of what they enjoy, part of what they need. And it's not, it's just as important as, it's probably more important than their medicine, because in the past, years ago, before all the research, they would tell them, okay, well, here's some medicine, and if you feel good, go exercise. Well, now doctors who realize how important it is, they say, okay, first thing you do is exercise. Get into a class, find something you enjoy, exercise. And then if you need it, then go to the medicine. So I feel like I'm the first defense before they have to really get into a bunch of medicine. So I want them to just enjoy life and have that mobility throughout their life. And this is a way that I can help.
Oh, wow. Yep.
And if I can,
Well, thank you, Cindy.
just add to that, I'm sorry, Serena, but if I could just add to that again,
Okay.
being a former wellness director and seeing the different types of classes being presented for the Parkinson's population, from cycling to boxing to balance classes, it's incredible. And so there's so many different offerings and so much support that's out there to be able to help slow the progression of Parkinson's and to enhance the abilities of those that are diagnosed with this.
We offer several classes: mobility, mobility and balance class. We offer boxing and also cycling, and all of those classes kind of work with a different, trying to help them in a different way, but they all work together. And it's just a little bit every day is really, really, really what the doctor orders, because it's just keeping them engaged, and it's more than just the exercise. It's the friendships and the group, cooperation they have and accountability. And I mean, a lot of them will say, it helps with mentally, because we also think about cognitive. So we get into the boxing and it works a lot with the cognitive issues. And I mean, gosh, we all need that. I mean, I benefit from that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Russ, thank you for sharing the screen. So if you're watching this on YouTube, Russ, our producer, is pulling up our website where we're featuring these classes. And what Robert mentioned at the beginning was that Cindy teaches a lot of classes through our virtual app, our Y360 app. So if folks need to stay at home but need to move at home, they can do that through the app, which is great.
Oh, that's awesome information. Now, my question is going to be for Greg. Greg, in your bio, you describe the Y as helping you reach your goals. Can you tell us about those goals?
Sure. Since being diagnosed, my goals have certainly taken a different path. Now it's more maintenance and get out there and try something to see what happens. My big goal is just to maintain stability, every day do something different. If there are limitations, try to get rid of those and travel a little bit. But Cindy's absolutely right. Now it's exercise all the time. Take the medication as prescribed. And I can't tell you how wonderful that little medication is during the on times and the off times.
Cindy, I have a question for you regarding your experience as a Parkinson's movement instructor since 2016. What have been some of your most memorable experiences?
Well, let's see, memorable experiences. Right before COVID, we had a huge group of members of Parkinson's that would come, and our boxing class really grew, and we had probably 16 to 20 people per class, and they just really learned quickly, enjoyed it. They asked for more. We were able to offer twice a week, and I enjoyed watching the folks, learn the boxing, all the different moves, and just really how quickly they kept with it. Then they would tell me they'd go home and practice so that they would be quicker the next time, so that they could do more the next time. They're always eager for, learning new things and trying something different. And I'll never forget, and this involves Greg, he probably doesn't know I'm going to share this, but he had gone through, this was a couple of years ago, but he had come in and he was learning, and he went through a battery of tests. He went back for his annual exam, and it was, I think it was like a 3-day test where they test, mobility and neurological and several things. And he was kind of worried about the tests because, you never want to get worst results. You want to, you want these good test results. And he came back, and I'll never forget, he was so excited. And he told me, I hope this is the truth, Greg, but he told me, I have not.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah. He goes, oh my gosh. He goes, I got my results back. He goes, and they were fantastic. He goes, I didn't progress in the disease. My numbers didn't come back worse.
In fact, I came back stronger. Everything improved.
Wow.
And he said, it is because of this and these classes. And that just made me feel like I was doing something that mattered. It wasn't just coming in and teaching and, getting through my day, but I was doing something that mattered for each one of these members. And whether they recognize it on a daily basis or not, I think over time, all the little things that we do, the little different moves, the cognitive, the verbal, all the things that we combine in these classes are adding up to make a difference in their overall health, their overall well-being. And then, that did, great wonders for his attitude. And it encouraged the other members in the class because they're like, well, if Greg can do that, I can do that. And, people are a little bit competitive around here. So, we were like, Greg improved his scores. So
just a little bit. We truly appreciate every experience that you all are sharing. And Greg, now is your turn. Are there any particular experiences in these classes at the Y that stand out to you that leave lasting memories?
Just the fact that the Y has become critical to my well-being. My goals have always changed a little bit to just maintaining a status quo medically, improving as much as I can every day, and the fact that the Y offers so much, that's kind of amazing. And it tests you, and when you succeed, the sociability is also critical. So you share the positive and the negative with a group. We have a great little group, and it's lasted for years now. And we go to lunch at least once a month, and we discuss where we are, what our physicians are telling us, whether we like it or not. You got to do something. But the Y 360 is great when you travel.
It is.
And it's just everything that the Y can do for us as a group and individually really awakened the thought process that I have on a daily basis. If something hurts, disregard and try to go ahead. But it's been really good.
Your resilience is so inspiring, Greg. And I really like what Cindy shared about your experience. And my hope is that people that are listening that maybe haven't thought about attending some of our classes, that are experiencing Parkinson's themselves, will be inspired. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Try it. You'll like it.
So we always end. Go ahead, Cindy. You were going to say something, please.
I was just, there's lots of levels. There's a lot of, it doesn't matter if you're newly diagnosed or you've been diagnosed for a while. There are so many modifications and levels where, people will progress, on a good day. I know there's good days and bad days, and we're all completely aware of that. I've had so much training and I've done lots of reading on my own that I know that there are days that you may not feel that great. And so you may not be able to go as hard as sometimes I push. But I do encourage kind of gentle. And as I get to know you, it changes. But, I really want people to push themselves because they can do things and they can still be active and have a high quality life, because activity, motion is lotion. And I just think you stay in motion. A body in motion stays in motion. And we just want to help you maintain that a good quality of life where you are still can be active, and you just practice and use it. And we try to perfect those strong skills inside the Y where it's safe and where we're trained, so that when you're out in everyday living, you can move with confidence and you can be confident in continuing to do your day-to-day things, because it's so important that, that you enjoy life and you live it. Recently, within the last year, I had a lady who's been a member for a long time here come to me, and she said, I just was diagnosed with Parkinson's. What do I do? And I said, come on, get in here. Let's just keep at it. Like, don't change anything. Just keep at it, and just know you'll have good days and bad days, but we're here for you no matter what.
Right.
And we'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, that's great.
Very powerful. Very powerful.
Thank you for that, Cindy. Boy, we are really fortunate to have you. There's no wonder that your name really stood out when we wanted to do this episode.
No, it's just the members make it fun too, because they give me a hard time. So I got to get in here and keep them going. Right, Greg?
Absolutely.
Well, we've come to the point in our episode where we end each episode asking our guests to share their pathway to the why. How were they first introduced? Your personal story. And so I'll ask Greg if you wouldn't mind sharing your pathway to the why.
Sure. Years and years ago, after I was diagnosed, my wife Rhonda found an article in a local newspaper that said, join Parkinson's Gladiators. So I did a little research. I talked to some folks, and I've been with the Y ever since.
Oh, wow.
That's great. That's really great. Yeah. And the community, it sounds like, that you've been able to cultivate has been probably more than you anticipated.
Oh, absolutely. And I rely on that for just to get out and fresh air or meet with people. But the instructors, Cindy and Jennifer and Levy, are just great to maintain a motivation. You go into the class and not real jovial. By the time you come out, you've shared some laughs.
Absolutely.
It's essential to your well-being.
Perfect.
I love that phrase. That's the second time you said that. I love that phrase. Essential to your well-being.
And it is.
Yes.
And how about you, Cindy? When was your first introduction to the Y? How did that happen?
Well, I grew up in a pretty small town, and there was a Y, though, and we played sports there. Growing up, we played sports there, and my brother played basketball, and we were on different little teams and things. But then, as we got older, we started doing stuff at the school, and then I moved around a lot. And once I moved here to Metro Atlanta, I went to the Y just to find a place that I could work out. And so I came to the Y, and I was checking out the classes, and I had been instructing at a different gym before we moved, and so eventually I was going to just join and start working out, but they said, well, we really could use an instructor if you'd like to apply. So I started not only working out, but I started teaching just one class, then two, and then kind of kept getting more certified in different things. And this has been a home for me and my family since we've moved here. And my kids, I have 4 kids. They've all been involved in the sports programs for the Y. Oh, my youngest one did all the mommy mornings out. I mean, they were very involved at gymnastics here. They played soccer. My husband has coached on the Y Select soccer side for years. And so he does a ton of volunteering on that side. I mean, I work on the inside. He works on the outside. And my kids are getting older now, and I only have one that's left in the Y sports programs, but she's still does all the soccer. And so I would say that we are a Y family.
Excellent.
It's part of your life. Excellent.
Yeah. And it helps that, it's so close, it's just so convenient. And it seems like your friends are here. And when your friends are here, that's what makes you want to walk in the door, because I always say that 80% of the work is walking in the front door. I mean, it's once you're here, it's easy. You see friends, you see your buddies, you see people who might be in they might not feel well like you don't feel well, but they're here, so you kind of motivate each other. But the hardest part is, getting on your tennis shoes and walking through the door. But once you're here, it's sometimes hard to leave.
Well, and the Y where you all are is fantastic. All of our Ys are, but when you walk in that front door, there's someone on your staff that's really talented with painting, and so the glass windows are always with a new theme or a new message. It's very inspiring. The Northwest Family Y in Cobb County. It's nice.
Oh, thank you. I'll pass that on because she will appreciate that you notice.
Anything else you all want to share before we say goodbye?
I was wondering, what are the signs to look for when it comes to Parkinson? If you suspect maybe a family member may be suffering from the illness and they haven't been to a medical professional just yet.
I would suggest by the time you actually notice a sign or a symptom, there's going to be a little tremor. Mine started actually in the lower portion of my right leg. And I didn't do anything with it until one of the guys here suggested I see one of the physicians, and all of a sudden I was diagnosed based on the tremor. And that's what happens first.
Okay.
Okay.
And from my research and
Thank
training,
you.
that's what I've also been told is it's a tremor on the right side generally. That's, most common is on the right side. Men are more commonly affected than women, but we do have several women members. And generally it's, older, but I have one young lady, she's under the age of, when she was diagnosed, under 50. So, it doesn't have to be just an, older aged person. It can happen but it's a tremor. And I have a member who's told me, I was asking him about his story, and he said one of his coworkers noticed he wasn't using his right arm as much, like to open doors and things, and said, "What's wrong with your right arm?" And he said, "Nothing." And he goes, "No, you're not, kind of noticed he wasn't using it." So he went to the doctor, and that's when he was diagnosed. So it's generally, it most often starts on the right. It can start on the left, but it most often is on the right. And it's a little tremor or a little shake, or, maybe it doesn't respond as quick.
Okay.
It's very helpful for folks listening. Thank you.
Thank you guys for sharing.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate you joining us for Y Connect, to share your story, to share your resilience and your teamwork. Thank you.
That's right.
Well, you're
Very
welcome. It's good to be here.
Thank you guys so much.
Both of you are
Yeah.
amazing. Both of you are amazing. Truly
Yeah.
appreciative
Thank
of your
you.
stories.
Thank you for listening to the Y Podcast. To continue the conversation or to find your closest Y, please connect with us at ymcaatlanta.org and sign up for our newsletter, Healthy Together.